Hello YouTube, Scary Guy here with another video from the PTR. You guys are gonna have to bear with me a bit on this one. I had to buy a different editing program because Power Director kept on crapping out, kept on giving me errors. So I've been actually working on this video most of the weekend and couldn't get it rendered, couldn't get it up. So using a new program, gonna see how that works out. Um, this is the new raid frame and all the raid options that you now get when you enter a battleground. It's pretty cool. You might actually be able to use the default raid UI. I don't know. Might be weird using default UIs for things. As you can notice, even on the PTR, I'm not using the default action button UI. I couldn't. It's impossible. It's against my nature to use the default UI. Um, so I don't know if many of you have heard the change or actually read the patch notes, but resilience no longer makes you immune to critical strike or lowers the damage from critical strike. What resilience does now is it lowers the damage you take from other players. So, in my opinion, PvP is now fun again. You may ask, what stopped making PvP fun? Well, me and I think a lot of other people stopped liking PvP when Resilience came in. It made it so much slower. It made it so much uh, more, I don't know, so less action, I think. What Crit did was, it made it funner, made it quicker, and made it more enjoyable. And why they ever put resilience in PvP to do that, I'm not too sure. But don't worry, resilience is still in there. Resilience still it lowers the damage you take from other players. So if you have 800 or 900 resilience, whatever it is, it's not a waste. You're still going to do better in PvP than someone without. That just doesn't, someone walks in with PvE gear, they're not going to be completely useless in PvP. They're just going to take more damage than other people. So that's what I'm in. I'm in mostly PvE gear, sub-spec, ambush, improved ambush with a high percent crit. And I found this dude AFK, so it seemed like good target practice to me. And I think it's paladin or a holy paladin. Not quite sure, but as you can see, not doing much damage per hit, and they slash AFK out. Um, I stepped in the Warsong Gulch and tried to play a few. You can see how choppy it is. This isn't my recording. This isn't my computer. This is the lag. The lag on the PTR was freaking terrible for the longest time. So I wanted to try out combat in PvP because killing spree, if you can get that to go on all one person, they're dead. Unfortunately, it decided to focus on that warlock's pet, so I popped Cloak of Shadows and get out of there. It wasn't working out for sure. And I don't know, Resilience always seemed weird because it made certain specs less meaningful in PvP. Um, Warlocks, Destructions based a lot around crit. Rogues, Subtleties based a lot around crit. And taking that away seemed so strange. I don't know why they ever made that decision, but I tried PvP in a few times after Resilience was put in, and it just seemed so slow. You're sitting there attacking someone else for 20 minutes, and no one wanted to die. It was just so slow paced, slow, so boring. I didn't like it. I'm not a big PvPer anyway. The only time I did PvP much was helping friends get Warlord and High Warlord. I basically just stood behind them and healed like crazy. And you see a lot of comments. I actually seen one post on the forum yelling about people with old PvP titles, saying how old PvP took no skill. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, but they obviously never, PvP'd back in vanilla. You couldn't just sit in battlegrounds and get honor like you could in the Burning Crusade. There was no welfare epics for just sitting in the battleground and doing absolutely nothing. You had to do things, and you had to get kills. I healed back in vanilla PvP, and unless you did some damage, you barely got any honor. You sat there and you got a few for being next to the kill, but mostly I ran around spamming heals and spamming Moonfire. So that's where the old Oomkin comes from. You just spam Moonfire on everyone, do as much damage as you can, because that's where most of your honor comes from. Uh, so, I mean, anyone saying that old PvP didn't take any skill, they obviously never PvP'd back in vanilla. They don't know what they're talking about. Uh, PvP nowadays, I mean, you see so many people AFK, so many people botting in battlegrounds, and you never really saw that before. I mean, heck, half the time you go into an AV and 10 people are AFK, or just wandering around botting, never moving, never doing any damage, never killing anyone. And I think Blizzard kind of put that onto themselves, making PvP take so long and changing just sitting in there getting rewards. That's what made people want to bot. So that's why people botted. Uh, I mean, some people felt they were forced to, I guess, but I don't know. It wasn't fun for me, that's for sure. And then, of course, Blizzard had to go and they had to make an anti-botting system just because, it was such a big problem. And for the longest time, it was a huge problem. Just people sitting there doing absolutely nothing, and why would they? All you had to do was sit there in AV for a few hours a day, and you get free gear. Uh, System like that's broken. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's enough for my little rant on mistakes in the Burning Crusade. Yeah. So as you saw, I changed to my hunter. I heard a lot of comments about hunters not really knowing how focus would work in PvP. I didn't have any problems with it. Focus does regen a little bit over time, um, and really, I don't think I've ever ran into someone who didn't die when I had a full focus bar. Um, so, I mean, there might be some instances when you're beating on a plate wearer, prop paladin, or a protection warrior where you might run out of focus. You might, have to hit steady shot a few times, but I think the damage that's from steady shot, you'll probably be pressing it every once in a while anyway. So I never saw that big of a deal. It still felt really nice. Actually, BM hunters, I can't see them not getting nerfed. They're OP. I gotta admit it. I mean, it's just insane amounts of damage. You can see my pet. Some of his special abilities are hitting, for 3 or 4K, and he's stunning people all the time, and it's a pain in the butt. One thing I did notice, which seems strange, is they took a lot of the talents that reduced pushback from taking damage out. Say if you were casting a heal or casting a spell and you take damage, there was one for Wrath at least that would, you wouldn't be knocked back as far. I think those talents are gone. So it seems to hurt casters more when you're attacking them and they're trying to cast spells. You see a lot of boomkins trying to spam Starfall because it's pretty OP now too, and if you hit them enough, it really slows down the casting, which is nice. For the longest time, I mean, you'd hit them or try and stun them, and it doesn't do too much. But I definitely like that uh, resilience no longer allows you to, or no longer gets rid of crits. It's fun, and coming from a guy like I said, I rarely PvP. I just I didn't find it that enjoyable. Maybe it's because I was healing all the time, but I catch another guy that just comes into the instance at the wrong time, and you can see he dies before my focus bar runs out. I don't know why he wasted his Ellie, like he popped his element right at the last. And you can see, look, it's rising fairly quickly. I mean, of course, it's not as quick as energy, but I'm still in combat, and it's rising fairly quickly. And when you get out of combat, it seems to go up quicker. So I walk into a room and get feared. Not too much going on there. Freaking Warlock, I think. Which, they're doing tons of damage. I'm actually going to do a video of Warlocks on the PTR here shortly. I had one back at 60 and I really enjoyed Glass Cannon spec, so I want to take a look at it and see how fun it is again. So, no one else was capping the flag. I don't know if many of you guys play on Horde, but Warsun Gulch is not our game. Um, if it just had to do with, controlling the middle and killing people, yeah, Horde would always win. But when you actually have to grab something and take it to another point, none of them seem to understand that. I don't get it. It has a counter up on the top for a reason. So, the hunter's gotta go and capture the flag. I don't even think anyone attacks me because half our people are camping their graveyard. And two, a lot of people were getting random errors and disconnecting, so that could have happened to them as well. Uh, Other than that, no one even tries to stop me. I don't even pop aspect of the days. I figured there must have been a rogue or something lurking around because no one's coming after me. Or, they're all waiting in our flag room or something. But it doesn't happen. So, I hope this shows you guys a bit the changes that happened in PvP. Uh, like I said, I think it's definitely for the better. I know a lot of people are upset about the change to resilience, but if you're a hardcore PvPer, I think after you try it that you'll like it. I mean, yeah, you're gonna die more, you're gonna get hit with big crits, but I think in the end it's gonna be more fun, more enjoyable. Anyways, see you guys later. Have fun.